welcome to episode 4 of Payroll and Pastries Crumbs of Wisdom, the interview series where I'm interviewing payroll experts and leaders from around the industry to find out more about their career path, more about their journey, more about their inspirations. Today, I'm joined by one of the titans of the industry and someone who I absolutely very much enjoy speaking with. This is Adrian. So I'll allow Adrian to introduce yourself.
Hello, Russell. Thank you very much for having me on your show. Really love what you do with payroll and pastries. I think it's pretty awesome. And I think it's something that's really good for the payroll industry. So yeah, appreciate the intro as well. Yeah, but yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to be here with you.
Super, thank you so much. I regularly catch up with Adrian at the CIPP events. And he's famed for having a scarf. He's always got a scarf on, and a lot.
They're coming back. They're
He's coming back.
Just so you know, it's 100%. I've got something really special lined up, actually.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see. But I think, as everyone knows, it's a bit hot for scarves at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that's why I only wear them typically 6 months of the year. So this is the period where I've got to let it go and leave it.
Fantastic. So. Adrian is Commercial Director at CIPP, Chartered Institute of Payroll Professionals. One of the first questions that I've been asking my guests is kind of how they got to where they are now. I know that, payroll quite often, as you know, Adrian, is an industry where a lot of people just fall into it. A lot of people go on, strange career paths. I'd love to know more, Adrian, and I think my guests would as well, about how your career path went and how you wound up at CIPP.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I've been in commercial roles for just over 20 years now. Really started in sales. It was very much like face-to-face sales. I used to be one of those guys knocking on people's doors trying to sell them gas and electricity. I did that for a short time, cold called people trying to sell them, what was it, those timeshare and all sorts of crazy things like that.
I guess it gives you a good ground in there as well, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, it's definitely character building. But I got to a point whereby I established myself in B2C organizations. So I worked for the likes of Co-op Bank for a period and then moved on to British Gas. Did really well at British Gas. Saw a promotion in the 3.5, 4 years that I was there. But then I wanted to transition and really, challenge myself. I was ready for the kind of next step in my career. And an opportunity came up to work for a software services organization. So yeah, I went for it, and it was great moving into the B2B or business to business side of things. That's where I was first introduced to payroll because I was required to sell payroll software and services. I initially started cold calling accountants about payroll, which today is probably a lot easier and a lot, it's much more of a payroll's much more elevated and much more profitable, within those kind of circles.
Definitely.
But back in 2012, it wasn't so much so. So it was
a closed book, really, wasn't it?
It was definitely a more challenging conversation, but I learned to build relationships, especially with accountants, developed relationships and understanding of bureaus and how bureaus work and SMEs up to mid-market at that time. But I had, besides me going on that journey and that learning curve, I also kind of had an in-house advantage in that I'm married to an accountant. So that's been super helpful. And my missus, she went from, she's worked in business predominantly and she's worked in practice, but she also became a teacher and taught accounts. And me, good old husband, I was a bit of a guinea pig for some of that teaching. So subsequently, while I was at this payroll organization, I was also being taught at home how to process payroll and calculate it manually, which was super helpful because from a credibility and understanding point of view, it meant that I didn't just understand how the software and services worked from the organization I was working for's viewpoint. I also understood the mechanics of what was going in the background and why the output was created and what the solutions were doing because of the manual side of learning. So yeah,
I guess you experienced the end user experience as well. and what they get, what what the people who are going to be using what you're trying to sell every day are going to be going through. So
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely, and that's something I think is very lacking quite often in organisations, not just payroll, but in any software. The understanding of what it actually does on a day-to-day basis. So no, expected to get a good full 360 understanding of it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think when you're presenting payroll to any given payroll professional, I think it's very easy to understand whether somebody is credible or not in what they're communicating. So as a software and services vendor, if you've got sales reps who are communicating to a payroll professional, they need to know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
They need to understand the mechanics of how payroll actually works and the process flows and the legislation that, connects with how the solutions are working.
absolutely.
Because a payroll professional will very quickly find you out if you don't really know what you're talking about. So I think
100%.
that worked in my advantage in that I could come across as very
Yeah.
credible because I actually knew what was happening and what was going on. So I think for my career, the reason why I went on the career trajectory that I went on was that when I was at college, I was at a bit of a crossroad in I initially wanted to be an English teacher. And
Yeah.
I really loved English language. I took to it quite well. I was going to go to Leicester University, so I was going to leave Manchester, going to go study English, get my PGC and whatnot. But I was in a relationship at the time, and it was a question of I didn't believe the relationship would work if I left Manchester. So it's like, do I choose the relationship or do I choose my studies and my career? So I chose a relationship, and I'm grateful because
There you go.
we've been married 17 years now.
17. Wow. I'm on
Yeah.
5 and I'm struggling. I'm not really. I'm not really.
I was gonna
Just
say,
in case she's watching.
yeah, don't put it out there to the marketplace or stuff. But what it did for me while I was while I was growing within the payroll industry, and I was in this commercial role, I very much still had that itch about, I still want to teach, I want to invest in people, I want to, support people with their own potential and development. And that's why I chose to go down the leadership route, because it's like I've got all of this sales acumen and this commercial acumen. I can marry that with teaching in essence in my investment in other people and developing other people through going through a leadership route. And I've just continued to grow on that journey and that trajectory up to now. I've been team leader, sales manager, sales director, now commercial director within the Chartered Institute of Payroll Professionals. And that's very much been because of my passion and desire for other people and to invest in other people and literally bring the best out of them.
Amazing. So that kind of leads me on to my next question, which I was going to say, what are your biggest motivations at working at CIPP? I'm guessing, it's your passion for developing and working with people there.
I mean, my passion for the CIPP, to be honest, like when I saw that the job was available, I nearly fell off my chair. I was like, what? Like, come on. So yeah, I've known about the CIPP for many, many years, right? I've been in the payroll industry now for what, 13 and a half years. So the CIPP, I've been to CIPP events. CIPP, if anything, used to be a part of the pitch and, having so many, of our payroll processors, CIPP qualified or members and stuff
I
like
use the
that.
same thing.
That's what I mean. It's an additional USP if you want when you're going through a sales process, right? So when I knew there was an opportunity to be here, I literally just grasped it and went for it. And thankfully, a lot of my experience that I've had, like I've worked for a membership organization before, again, like I said, 13 years, in the payroll industry, having accountancy in the household, which is super helpful, all these kind of things. And because on my career journey, I've worked a lot with marketing functions. I've even had marketing report into me at times past before as well. And I've done a lot of work with events too. So for my remit of responsibility within the Institute, it leaned quite nicely into a lot of my experiences up until this point. And being here next month's actually a year that I've been in the Institute.
Wow.
So September 25 is going to be my a year. And it's been amazing. absolutely loved it and just love spending time with payroll professionals.
Fantastic. I can't believe it's been a year. I remember when you first came in, I hadn't been in my role too long. But I remember someone from our marketing department saying, "Go get friendly with Adrian. Go get friendly with Adrian." But super. No. And the last question I had on kind of the CIPP stuff and your kind of remit was I know obviously I talk quite a lot about the event schedules and what happens throughout the year in these industry events. But we've got the big one coming up. I know we've got National Payroll Week coming up first week of September,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
promises to be a week full of like excellent events. And then the big one in October, the CIPP ACE. You looking forward to those?
100%. Like this is going to be awesome. And this year is quite different as well because during National Payroll Week, yeah, we kick off with the celebration in the Sky Garden. And then on the second day, we've got the Payroll Services Summit, which is specifically for those who offer payroll services, managed services, or however you may want to define it, bureaus, etc. And that event is all about them, and it's gonna be absolutely amazing. Experian, who used to host the event through Pay Dashboard, they've handed that over to ourselves, and we're working with them at the CIPP with this event. So it's gonna be very special. And then annual conference, like we've got so much learning over that 2 day period. Some incredible speakers, from across industry, specialists from across industry. We've got a few surprises this year
really?
as well
Looking forward to
to spice it up a little bit. So yeah, it's just going to be tremendous, and I'm really looking forward to celebrating everyone in the awards evening as well. From there, and I was actually there at the judges day as well, and I was able
I
to.
saw some pictures on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't doing any of the judging, but I just wanted to observe and just listening to the discussions and seeing the quality, of some of the submissions and the incredible work that's been going on across the payroll industry, and the level of scrutiny that goes into, the scoring metrics for who should be awarded and why. It's just remarkable. So yeah, they're going to definitely deserve to be celebrated.
I'm looking forward to it. My team at Phase 3 we're nominated for Project of the Year, and also for the Payroll Provider of the Year. So really excited. I was joking with Adrian before that I'm practicing my nomination speech or my acceptance speech already. But no, absolutely, it's great to hear that the winners are worthy winners, and that you've been there observing the judges going through their scoring techniques as well, which is fantastic to hear.
Yeah,
Super.
definitely. And there's so much exciting stuff to come, with us as an institute, what we're doing in the market. We're at a transitional point in time within the payroll industry, especially with, AI and its adoption and the implications that sit around that. And we're doing a lot to prepare the industry for it. One of the key things that I'm super excited about is our payroll management diploma, because of the 5 modules of that level 5 qualification, one of them is dedicated to AI and payroll robotics.
Wow.
In how it's supporting the profession in being prepared and being best equipped to position themselves in that strategic position, in that value add position, as to why payroll is one of the most important areas within an organization.
Excellent. No, it's your education side of things is fantastic, and I love to hear that you're embracing new technology when it comes, such as AI, and making sure that everybody knows, because it is one of those things that I remember walking around not the CIPP, but another HR technologies event, and everyone's talking about AI, but no one really knew what it was just a couple of years ago now. And sometimes people get confused with automation and think it's AI and stuff like that. So it's great that you're, and I know you do a lot of panels and stuff like that on it, don't you? So you're getting the best people in the business to create this content so everyone gets the benefit from it.
Absolutely. We've even got a talk during National Payroll Week as well, about AI, and not just about AI like theoretically, but more so about what AI means for the payroll profession itself. So yeah, we've like you said, we've done a number of them over the past year. The last one was really interesting that we did in June. Like literally, I've never seen a Q&A blow up as drastically as what it did on that webinar. I think it was like over 300 people who sat on it, and there was just question after question.
Wow.
But it's because everyone's really curious and they want to
Yeah.
know, like, how did he best equip themselves and prepare themselves for it? How did he navigate this transition? And that's why we're here to support.
Fantastic, fantastic. Adrian, last segment of today, I've got a couple of this or that questions for you, just
This
so
makes
the
me
audience.
nervous.
Nothing too controversial.
Okay.
Just so the audience gets to know Adrian Goddard a little bit better. So, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go for it, Russell.
Quick as you can. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars. I'm actually a Star Wars baby. I was born on the 4th of May.
Wow, that's impressive. Football or rugby?
Football, Man United, all the way, and we're going to be
That
top four
concludes
this
the
year.
interview.
Listen, our strike force looks dangerous.
It does. It does. We shall see. Time will tell. Beer
Who
or
do you
wine?
support?
Chelsea.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Club World Cup champions.
Whatever that means, all right.
Whatever that means, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, beer or wine?
Wine.
Wine. Caribbean or Mediterranean?
Oh, Caribbean. My family's from Barbados, so like, I have to be Caribbean.
I thought I was going to get it. I saw you. You had a holiday there recently from LinkedIn. I think. Yeah.
Over Christmas, I went on a Caribbean cruise, and Barbados. We got to we departed from there, and we stayed there before traveling back to the UK.
Tidbit of information for you. I've been to Barbados. I've actually played field hockey for the British Army against the Barbados national team. So
Oh,
I've played,
really?
yeah.
Did you win or lose?
We got absolutely slaughtered. And all I can remember about Barbados was everyone was drinking Banks beer. I'm not sure if they still drink that there. But
Okay, nice.
Netflix and chill or disco dancing?
Ooh. Okay, so Netflix and chill because I'm not a very good dancer, but I do love dancing.
I've seen you cutting some shapes at Ace.
Well, you know what? I actually it's funny when I was on the Caribbean cruise over Christmas, I probably danced practically every day. Like I was on the dance floor continually. It just doesn't look very pleasant, that's all.
Last one, pizza or pasta?
Ooh, I'll go pasta. Yeah, I'm actually going to cook meatballs today.
Good man, lovely, jubbly. Well, Adrian, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much for your wonderful insights about CIPP, about your history, and as I said, looking forward to CIPP Ace and seeing you soon.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you soon, Russell, and thank you.
Thanks so much.